Let's talk casting director relationships. We've talked in these videos about how you get prepared for pilot season. And everyone's like, well, now it's the summer. Why are we talking about this now? Because this is when everybody shuts down. It's when casting directors are teaching classes. It's when people have free times and they are in their offices going through their files, looking to organize the actors that they've met throughout the year into organized piles so that come pilot season in the fall, they have their go-to list ready. The time that we're in right now is the time to build relationships with casting directors. And a relationship is not, I took a class with you and I did really good work in class. Casting directors teach how many classes? 2, 3 classes a month? 6 months out of the year, they meet hundreds of kids. Now, a relationship happens when I've auditioned for a casting director 3 or 4 times and done stellar work. We have a relationship at the end of that, those series of events, right? A relationship with a casting director is when I've come in for a casting director, and in order to get a part, you're going to go in first, probably for a pre-screen, so they see you then. Then you go in and you audition for the directors, and they see you then. And then there's probably a callback. And if there's not a callback, then they look at your tape again in a producer's session. They've looked at you 3 times in the course of a 48-hour period, and then they give you the job. You now have a relationship with the casting director, right? Because they know how you work under pressure, they know how you work in the pre-screen, they know how you work and take direction in the audition room, in the casting session with producers and director, and now that they've gotten you the job, they're definitely going to find out some good feedback about how you worked on the set, because that reflects on them and their residual check that they get for casting that episode, right? So once someone has cast you, you now have a relationship. Once you've auditioned for someone consecutively, 3 or 4 times, and by consecutively I don't mean 3 times in 3 years. I mean 3 times in a 3-month period, right? In order to really stick in someone's memory, you have to have worked on a project together, or you have to have been in each other's presence in an intense way in a short period of time. And generally like to say 3 months, right? So if you have a point of contact with a casting director every 2 weeks for 3 months, whether that be in-person time, and some of that time must be FaceTime. You've run into them at an opening night. You have answered an ad they posted on Facebook and solved a problem for them. And my caveat, when you're dealing with people that you know through the industry on social media, do not ask them for favors. Do favors for them. That's how you make yourself remembered. If you ask them for business favors on social media, then you make yourself remembered as someone they will never call in for an audition, right? If they post, I'm looking for a reliable babysitter from these times to these times, do you know somebody that has a letter of recommendation, and you give them a list of 10 names and 2 agencies that you've worked with, you've solved a problem. You're helping to build a relationship, right? So when you're trying to build a relationship with someone in this business, the first question that you always ask yourself is, what can I do for you? What can I do to make your life easier? You know what you can do to make a casting director's life easier? Come in off book. Completely. Audition within an inch of your life of brilliance. You're solving a problem. They desperately need to fill this role, right? When a casting director is casting a role, they're never just casting that one role on a television show. They're casting the entire episode. They may actually be casting the entire season. The pressure is on, right? They don't have lots of time. 2 weeks before an episode starts shooting to cast it. Meanwhile, writers are doing rewrites and adding characters and deleting characters. Oh, wow. Minimum 100 characters in an episode, including extras, under 5s. Wow. It's a lot of people. If you come in and do brilliant work and solve my problem as a casting director, I remember you. So when it comes to building a relationship, which is what should be happening right now, okay? And we're going to talk about 3 things that absolutely need to be happening right now. This relationship building, contact with the casting director once every 2 weeks for 3 months. The contact is non-invasive. The contact is serving a purpose for them. The contact is friendly. The contact has to be FaceTime in which you do brilliant work in front of them. Got it? Good. Love it. The second thing that needs to be happening, and that we've talked about in these videos, is you need to know how to handle the genre of all the shows shooting in your area. Right? I'm in New York. Audition for House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, Scandal, Unforgettable, Gotham, Blacklist, Blue Bloods. All of them, completely different. Law and Order, all of them. How much text you have to memorize, how you have to handle the language, how vocal you are on a set. Are you on a tight little realistic set that's actually a laundromat, or actually are you in a huge vacuous warehouse that has been recreated to look like a club from the 40s, right? Or are you on a television set? All of those programs have a different set of production values that require a different kind of stylized acting from you. When Empire Boardwalk was running, different kind of acting, all period. Completely period. Completely. Sets of dialects that you had to know, stance, body language. And you have to be able during pilot season to turn on that different kind of acting on the time. Right? So when people come to me and they can't memorize the side of 3 pages that happened in 3 days, I'm like, you're not ready. Right? And if you're not ready, and you're not in class with a coach, or private coaching with someone to get ready right now, I would wager you're not serious. So you can stop watching the video now. Because this video is for people who are here to get it done. This video is for people who do not accept this idea that they cannot make it as an actor. This video is for people who are going to act by any means necessary, meaning everything that is within their power to have done and done well is already done by the time pilot season begins. Relationship building, the ability to handle this text, and finally, a place where somebody can come and see your work, a showcase of your work, a web presence that is competitive and professional, and industry standard. If you don't know what industry standard is, Google 10 of the folks that you love who are series regulars on television and go to their websites. And you'll get a sense of the quality that we're looking for, right? Your look. When you write down your 20 favorite scenes from primetime, you write down the actors that you love too. Do you have Pinterest boards with how they dress and what kind of roles they take and how they talk on press junkets? You gotta dress for where you wanna be, right? You gotta look like them. You gotta look like them, you gotta sound like them. And I don't mean copying a person. I mean the quality of their professionalism, right? The way they show up looking drop dead, gorgeous, poised. The way they show up on talk shows talking about their work. You should be on your web presence, on your page, presenting a similar image. Meaning, $1.99 headshots, bad idea. Resume where you got the format from a friend, bad idea. A series of teachers on your resume who have never worked in the industry or haven't worked in the industry in 20 years, not a good idea. It means you're not in the game that is being played right now. Everything that is within your power are the 3 things that getting on the path to pilot season are about. Some people can do it on their own. It took me 10 years to figure it out. Some people, I coach them through it and they can get it done in 2 weeks, right? In intense coaching, right? Someone has a show that they're in right now. Their first point of contact they want to make is to get people to that show. Well, that's no small feat in New York City. But there's a business strategy that will make that happen. There are people who have PR firms, that's all they do, is make sure when you're about to get a Tony nomination that everybody in town gets to your show. That's a job. People get paid $5,000 a month for it. You can do it yourself. You have the internet. And if you're not rocking the internet like a beast as an artist, then you're another one of those people, you're not in this to win it. You're just talking about it. And I'm telling you personally, people who just talk about it or complain about it are very uninteresting. Right? They want an excuse to quit their job and go to law school, which is totally fine. But why waste time? This stuff we're trying to do is hard. It is only for the brave of heart. And only for those that are like, if I'm not brave, I'm going to do it anyway and hire somebody to help me get brave. Which is what I did. I was like, because going back is not an option. This is what I'm doing. So getting on the path to pilot season, relationships with casting directors, your ability to handle large amounts of text from different kinds of television shows within 24 hours, which is about how long you'll have to prepare for an audition. And then thirdly, what does my portfolio, what does my press kit look like? What is the artistic image of myself going out into the world? If somebody wanted to give me a job tomorrow, could they type my name in and Google it and find a way to see my work and how to contact me? If that's not happening, you're not ready. When I Google your name, nothing else should come up but your headshot, your resume, your reel, and a way to give you a job. If there's 20 other people before you, fix it. Pay to fix it. He who comes up first in the Google search gets the job. It's plain and simple. Especially if you're a newbie and you're just getting out here and not a lot of people know you. You got 10 seconds to hook them. Just 10. So Google your name. If it's not up there in the top, you need to figure out a way to get it higher in the top. If there's somebody else with your name, then add your middle name. Your web presence, your press kit as an actor is the first thing that should come up in a Google search. So in this Getting on the Path to Pilot Season class, those are the 3 components I'm going to rock. It's going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be a webinar. It's going to include one-on-one time with me, Skype, and in person or phone, whichever your preference and schedule is, and then we'll meet once a week in class. And it'll be 2 weeks. It'll be intense, but I promise you, your game will be slamming come pilot season, and people will be eating your dust. Love you. Mean it. Talk to you soon.